It's a 1-2 with Kuka. Højbjerg was there to intercept for Spurs. Now it's Tanganga rolling out towards Son, who was dispossessed, but as Tanganga passed it to Son, he was then fouled by Messina, and Spurs will get a free kick inside their own half down the right-hand side. So we're yet to see too much of an impact from Son. It's been his fellow winger, Steven Bergwijn, who's had more of an impact for Spurs so far. So the cameras pan in on the Watford boss, Xisco Munoz. First time round since getting relegated at the end of the 1920 season, but they've got some defending to do here with Harry Kane down the left-hand side for Spurs as he plays it towards Steven Bergwijn, further out wide down the left. Here's Oliver Skipp on the edge of the box, who thought about shooting for a second, instead plays it back to Højbjerg, who almost gave it away to Joshua King. Sanchez was just about there in time to retrieve the pass. But, in the end, it goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris. Now it's with Sanchez again by the halfway line now for Spurs as they break into the Watford half with Højbjerg, although he passes it straight back into the Spurs half with Eric Dyer now. And, back across to Davinson Sanchez for Spurs, just over 5 minutes plus stoppage time to go until half-time. As Højbjerg now, down the right towards Tanganga, back to Højbjerg again, still down the right Spurs have it, and it's a 1-2 with Skipp and Højbjerg. As Højbjerg then plays it out towards Eric Dyer, now down the left. Here's Dele Alli through the middle for Spurs, back towards Eric Dyer again. And now with the full-back Reguilon in towards Bergwijn. Back to Dele Alli as Spurs trying to pass it around a bit quicker, but in the end Dele Alli's giving it away to Sissoko, who in the end, as he tries to keep it in play, Moussa Sissoko, as the ball was bouncing out, he smashes it into the face of Nuno Espirito Santos, and he's message to the Spurs boss, that's what you get for selling me. It's a little handshake between the two as the player Sissoko and Nuno Espirito Santo, and the Spurs manager is okay, and Spurs have it now with Tanganga. Now Skipp, as his pass was deflected off of Sirielta, the Watford centre-back, and out for a Spurs throw down the right. As we look at that, what Sissoko, as he did try to keep it in play just behind the manager, and he hit it on the half volley, smashed it into the face of he would have wanted to do on his Tottenham return. As the Spurs have it now down the left with Steven Bergwijn, who's trying to dribble in field, plays it towards Son on the edge of the box, facing away from goal, plays it back towards Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, and now Reguilon trying to make a run in behind, but it was Cathcart there to intercept, and as he read the ball in behind from Højbjerg, and this is Moussa Sissoko, back to Cathcart, who tries to kick it long. Dyer wins the header. It's only an expense of a throw for Watford down the right-hand side, this time inside their own half. Cathcart, who's looking quite tired after 38.5 minutes, so slowly walking towards the touchline to pick it up and take the throw. She throws down the line towards Ismail Assar, who's trying to hold off Reguilon, who got a foot in, and Skipp picks up the pieces for Spurs, plays it to Højbjerg, and now this is Davinson Sanchez, who's going to look to drive forward for Tottenham. He doesn't make it very far, and he's still looking for an option, Davinson Sanchez, but in the end goes sideways to Eric Dyer. And this is Oliver Skipp. So he looks to dribble inside the Watford half. Before he gets to the Watford half, turns back and plays it back to Eric Dyer again, who will attempt to switch it now down the left to Bergwijn, who takes it down the left flank for Spurs. He tries to cut inside, get a ball in the box. It deflects towards Oliver Skipp on the edge of the box. He's trying to dribble away from Atibo. He's got Tanganga to his right. Here it goes to Tanganga. Now back to Kane on the edge of the box. Still Harry Kane being pressured by King, and then Kane's forced back to Højbjerg. This is Dele Alli in the middle of the park. Back to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg again. So looking perhaps for an option in the area. Instead looks to play it in behind towards Tanganga, who gets across him from the right-hand side. Bergwijn just about keeps it alive. Here's Dele Alli inside the area, trying to flick it past 2 or 3 Watford defenders, and in the end it was Kuka who did brilliantly to stop Dele Alli from advancing inside his own penalty area as he heads it back to his goalkeeper Bachmann, who was there to pick it up for Watford. It's almost a chance for Spurs. There were 5 Watford players standing, watching the ball as Dele Alli was trying to flick it above all of them. But in the end, Kuko was there to recover for Watford as he played it back to his goalkeeper. But Watford have given it away now as they tried to play it out from the back again, but they've kicked it out for a Spurs throw down the right. Here's Oliver Skipp as Spurs look for a last 5-minute charge before half-time as Eric Dyer brings it into the Watford half again. Plays it down the left-hand side to Reguilon. Now Bergwijn further out wide down the left flank. Still Bergwijn trying to dribble away from Sarr and Cathcart. He went down after taking it past Cathcart. I'm just waiting to see if the referee has given a free kick for Spurs down the left-hand side. It seemed that Bergwijn jumped into Cathcart more than Cathcart going into Steven Bergwijn. Might have been a body check from the Watford number 15. But, I think the free kick actually has been given to Spurs down this left-hand side. It's a chance to get the ball into the box for Spurs. Son's had 4 opportunities to do so far from corners. This time he's got a free kick. Box further out wide as Son is the single man to take it, and in it goes. It's close to the keeper and it's gone all the way in. It avoided every single player inside the penalty area, and Bachmann couldn't get a touch for it in goal for Watford. And it's a superb free kick from Son. Whether he meant it or not is a different story. He won't mind. Spurs won't mind as they take the lead 4 minutes before half-time. 1-0 to the hosts. Heung-min Son with his second of the campaign. His first goal of the season was with his left foot. That one was meant against Manchester City. This one with his right foot from the free kick as it curled an in-swinging ball from the left-hand flank past everyone. Dyer tried to get a flick on it. It was too far away from him, and the bounce took it away from the goalkeeper, who couldn't quite adjust his feet in time. But what a brilliant curling ball into the box from Heung-min Son, which in the end finds the back of the net. And out of 3 goals for Spurs this season, 2 of them have come from set pieces, 1 of them from a penalty, this one from the free kick, and Heung-min Son makes it 1-0 to Spurs. And all the hard work from Watford defensively has been shut out here just before half-time. As we are back underway, and Spurs will have the ball again as they've got to throw down the right-hand side. So Watford, who went a goal down after 10 minutes in their first away game of the season against Brighton last weekend. Well, it's taken them 40 minutes this time to go behind at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Watford, who are certainly in this game, and of course they still are. It's only 1-0, but it certainly changes things before half-time. And of course there's still 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go in this half, as Watford have the ball here with Messina. And how can they recover from going a goal down now? Messina's going to look long down the line towards Joshua King, but Dyer's there to cut out the header. He was the closest player to that Son free kick, which in the end avoided everyone inside the area. And Skip tried to break away for Spurs. He was taken out by Kaku, and Tottenham get a free kick just inside their own half in the middle of the pitch. And Højbjerg takes it to Skip, and Skip back to Højbjerg, and now Eric Dyer. This is Dele Alli down the left, now Reguilon just by the halfway line. Dele Alli, now Skip again, back towards Eric Dyer for Spurs. This is Pierre-Emile Højbjerg now. Back towards Dele Alli again. 1 minute to go until half-time, plus stoppage time, which there shouldn't be too much of. So Kane's come deep for it now, and he plays it to Dele Alli, and now a forward pass to Reguilon. This is Bergwijn, back to Ali again. Tanganga was making a run down the right. He was ignored by Ali, who instead goes down the left towards Reguilon, who's inside the area down the left-hand side for Spurs. Gets the ball in towards Son, who takes it down, and he goes down in the area. But he seemed to collapse to the ground rather than being forced to the ground by the Watford defender, Troost Ekong, who's actually running to the referee, Andre Mariner, and claiming for a yellow card for Son for diving. And he's got half a case there, to be honest. Son really did throw himself to the ground. There may have been contact on the Spurs man, but certainly not enough for the number 7 to go down to grounds. And yeah, there was hardly any contact. And I think, if anything, Troost Ekong got a slight touch on the ball. But Spurs do not get a penalty, understandably, in that case. And as we go back to the action, someone's got a yellow card here for Tottenham. There was a foul, I believe, on Ismaila Sarr, just by the halfway line. We're just going to take a look at it now from the replay. It was Kane with a sliding challenge, and I think it was a fair yellow card from the Tottenham striker, who, of course, comes back into the side for his first Premier League start. He's not happy with the yellow card because Spurs went on to win back the ball just before he put the challenge in. It was a sliding challenge which he half pulled out of Harry Kane. His studs weren't up, he wasn't out of control, and it was, of course, his first foul, which is why he's not too happy that he's received a yellow card. But I think it is a fair decision from the referee, as the free kick was really poor. They tried to launch it into the penalty area, but it went nowhere near the penalty area. Watford, whose poor form in London, they've won 2 of their last 22 away games in the capital. And they're losing here again. And there is a player for Watford warming up and getting changed. I'm not sure who it is. I'll let you know as soon as I know. As Cathcart is back up to his feet. He's walking off, which is promising for Watford. But it looks like he's going to be subbed off now. It's 5 minutes into this second half. And when we do restart, we'll restart back with the Watford goalkeeper as the ball was in his hands, Bachmann. It's going to be Ngakia who's going to come on for Watford, the number 2. And in their first substitution of the afternoon, of course, it's a forced substitution because Cathcart will come off injured. So 5 minutes into the second half, first substitution. He's made his way onto the pitch now, and Ngakia, as Cathcart makes his way down the tunnel. We're back underway now with the Watford goalkeeper, who's slowly dribbling it out, and now we'll pass it out to Troost Ekong for Watford, the centre-back, who now has a new player to the right of him, in Ngakia, who's got his first touch here for Watford down the right-hand side. He's going to look for a long ball in behind. It's cut out by Reg outside the centre circle as he looks to chip one in behind towards Stephen Bergwijn, but it was the new fullback for Watford, Ngakia, who was there to intercept, and now Etobo picks it up for the away side. Here is Ngakia again, who's been pressed by Dele Alli, who's actually won it back from Ngakia, who was then forced to put in a recovery challenge on the number 20 for Spurs, Dele Alli, and it goes out for a Spurs throw down the left-hand side. It's not the best start for the substitute for Watford, giving the ball away in a dangerous area. As the Spurs have now taken this throw, it was Bergwijn who took it, and it's out towards Oliver Skipp. And now it's his centre-mid partner, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, and all the way back to Eric Dyer. And this is Davis. And he gave it away, and Watford regain possession with their goalkeeper, Bachmann. And now it's with Sirielta, and now Troost Ekong plays it down the right-hand side towards Ismail Assar and Dele Alli, who pressed him well, but only an expense of a throw for Watford down this right-hand side, which is going to be taken by Moussa Sissoko as he throws it down the line towards Ismail Assar, back towards Sissoko again, but Dele Alli got a touch in there again, and it will go out for a Watford throw again. As the Spurs are having their first substitutes warming up, Lucas Moura, Giovanni Lo Celso, a new signing, centre-back Romero, but first a chance for Watford as Sarr's got it on the edge of the box, cuts it back for Cuckoo, and it was a good chance on the half volley just inside the penalty area, but he couldn't connect with it, and in the end it flies high over the bar. And we'll see what happened with that move. It was a throw towards Ismail Assar. He spun away from Reguilon, who then jumped to the ground easily looking for a free kick. Certainly wasn't a free kick, and he was ignored by the referee, understandably. But then the cutback from Sarr left it difficult for Cuckoo to get a good shot away, as it was on the half volley. It was a cross into the box with pace, and he didn't connect with it, and it goes over the bar for Watford. But that's their first chance of this second half, as the Spurs have now taken their goal kick, and it's chipped long by Højbjerg looking for Dele Alli, who almost got there ahead of the Watford centre-back Sirielta. But Watford have it now with Dennis, although he's been tackled by Tanganga, but then it's won back by Dennis again, and this is Cuckoo now for Watford, as he plays it back to Messina, who was in the Championship Team of the Year last season, the Watford left-back, after he made, I believe, 26 appearances. As he's got it now down the left-hand side. He now rolls it out towards Dennis, running towards the penalty area. Cuts it back to Ismail Assar. This is Moussa Sissoko, challenged by Dele Alli, but he gets away from Dele Alli. He's now got it down the right-hand side of the penalty area, running towards the goal line. Tries to get a cross in, comes for Gray, and then Sarr, who got a shot away. And in the end, it was claimed by Hugo Lloris after a deflection. He's claiming handball from that deflection, Ismail Assar, but Spurs are quick to get on with it. And they tried to counter-attack with Oliver Skipp trying to run away. And he was pulled back by Moussa Sissoko, who created that chance for Watford. But now he's going to see a yellow card for stopping a Spurs counter-attack. But that was a really good chance for Watford. Sissoko running down the right-hand side of the penalty area, cut it back for King, who took a touch, looked to get a shot away. It was taken off King by his own teammate Sarr, who did get a shot away, but in the end it came off Eric Dyer and slowly bounced into the hands of Hugo Lloris. But a real chance there for Watford. A brilliant block from Eric Dyer. In fact, I think it was a mixture of Eric Dyer and Davinson Sanchez getting a block in there from the close range effort. But that's the best chance we've had in a while from Watford. It came to nothing, and now Spurs have it with Oliver Skipp inside the Watford half as he plays it towards Harry Kane, who's now taking a touch out down the right-hand side, looks to chip one into the penalty area for Dele Alli. It's headed away by Troost Ekong and then smashed away by Messina, up towards King, who's going to look to take it down for Watford. Sanchez got a foot in, and then Reguilon will take it down for Spurs. And then Højbjerg plays it all the way back to Davinson Sanchez. Now down the right with Japhet Tanganga for Spurs, although he couldn't get his pass right to Heung-min Son down the line, and in the end kicks it out of play for a Watford throw down the left-hand side. 10 minutes now into the second half. Watford having the best opportunity out of both teams. So pictures again, look at the bench as Celso and Romero are back for their warm-ups as Spurs yet to make a substitution in this one. So here comes Josh King with a ball in behind, but Dyer was there to cut it out and then clears, and now Kane trying to head it to Son from the clearance. Son just about keeps it and plays it up towards Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. He's going to look to run down this right-hand side. He's done brilliantly as he passes it to Son down the inside. Tanganga's overlapping. Son tries to cut inside, and there was a foot in there by Messina, but he just about keeps it Heung-min Son and rolls it back out to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Here's Dele Alli down the right as he looks to chip one in towards Kane. It goes over him, and then in the end it was Ngakia, the substitute for Watford, to head it behind for a corner to Spurs. And it's their fourth corner of the game, but their first down this left-hand side. And the last time we saw an in-swinging ball into the penalty area from Heung-min Son, it was led to the goal as it went straight in from the free kicks a few moments before the end of the first half. Now he's got a chance to get an in-swinging ball into the penalty area, this time from the corner in front of the south stand for Spurs, which they kick into for this second half, kicking left to right. Also standing close to Davinson Sanchez to make sure he so we're approaching the hour mark, 3 minutes away from the hour mark at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Gets away from Ngakia, still trying to put the pressure on the Tottenham number 23, but in the end he was just a bit too persistent there. Sanchez have gone forward. right foot, tried to curl one to the far post, but in the end it was right down the middle of the goal and a comfortable save for the Watford number 2. By Spurs up towards Harry Kane, who takes it down, being pressured by in towards Harry Kane down the left, who now plays it down the middle towards Højbjerg inside the centre circle, leaves it for Kane again to pick up the piece. Has it down the left-hand side, but it was a really good styling challenge by Ngakia, and now Kansar break for Watford as he looks to skip away from Dele Alli. He took a touch past say free kick Watford's way, and he's also going to book Dele Alli here. And I suppose if it is a foul, then it does have to be a booking for the Spurs midfielder, because he gets away from Dele Alli and has the whole right-hand side of the pitch to run into. But no, it wasn't a foul. He's jumped into Dele Alli. And jumped that foul, which Watford have taken his time on the ball, looking for a forward option. And towards Ismaila Sarr. And, Warner as it bounced off of Tanganga and behind. And this could be a chance for Watford now as we're and Bergwijn's going to try and get to this loose ball. He couldn't quite pick it up, and it's True Stikong now for Watford. Back out to Ismaila Sarr, who takes it around Tanganga. Still a chance to get the ball in the box. He's inside the area down the right-hand side. Cuts it back to Sissoko, who's going to hit one. And that is the Sissoko that Tottenham know of over the last 5 years, as he skies his shot well and truly over the bar. And it was a good opportunity for him just on the edge of the box as it was rolled back to him by Ismaila Sarr. Not much pressure on Moussa Sissoko as he got the shot away. But it was more of a rugby shot than a football shot from Moussa Sissoko, as it might have gone into that top tier of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But the ball's been dropped all the way back down to Hugo Lloris now, who will be ready to take this goal kick. He's got Dyer and Sanchez beside him as he looks to roll it out short. And he chooses Davison Sanchez down the right, who plays it out towards Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, who's occupying this right-back position at the moment, with Tanganga further out wide. Here is Oliver Skip now for Spurs. And this is Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. He passes it down the right-hand side for Tanganga. Son was making a run in behind. Tanganga chooses to ignore it and passes it back towards Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Now Oliver Skip being pressed by Kaku, which means he has to swiftly move it on towards Eric Dyer. And the number 15 for Spurs will now take his time on the ball as he gives it back to Oliver Skip inside the centre circle. He switches it down the right-hand side towards Tanganga. First time ball in towards Son down the right. And now a chance to get the ball in from Son. It's a low ball across the face of the goal, but in the end, the Watford goalkeeper came out to claim it. A low ball across, dangerous ball across from Son, but good goalkeeping from the Watford man. And Son, who was then eager to win it back for Spurs. It was Kaku who had the ball for Watford, but in the end he fouls Kaku. And he's actually gone down now, Heung-min Son. He's holding I believe his belly as he went down. Must have been winded, I think, after he put in the foul on Kaku, and he seemed to just accidentally kind of hit him in the stomach area and wind Heung-min Son. And he goes down in a little bit of pain there, Heung-min Son, but he's back to his feet now again, slowly walking forward. Watford have made a substitution here as King has come off, and it's Hernandez who comes on to replace him, which makes me think Dennis, who moved to the left-hand side, with Hernandez coming on down the left-hand side. Down the right-hand side in the Spurs half. It's going to be taken quickly by Sissoko. Back towards Ismail Assar again by the corner flag now, and there was a foot in there by Sergi Reguilon as it goes out for a throw for Watford down the right-hand side, right by the corner flag. And so we're waiting to see if Spurs are going to make this substitution. It seems they're going to delay it just one step further. So Assar is ready to take the throw. In fact, no, he's going to leave it for Ngakia. Of course, the Watford substitute as he throws it out towards Sissoko, dispossessed by Bergwijn. Tobo's there, though, to pick it up for Watford. Down the right-hand side, chips the ball in towards the area. Hernandez with a flick on. And in the end, it came off Japhet Tanganga. Three days last weekend from the penalty spot, had a golden opportunity to double the Spurs lead here as Son played it down the right-hand side to Harry Kane inside the area. He cut it back for Dele Alli, who just had to pass it into that far corner, but he dragged the shot just wide of the post as it slowly rolled away from goal. And Buchmann, the goalkeeper for Watford, didn't move. There would be no chance for him if it was just inside the post. But Dele Alli hits it wide, and Spurs are now making that substitution. Their first of the afternoon. Bergwijn's going to come off, and it's Lucas Moura. It's Troost Ekong now, as he plays it to the other side of the penalty area, where Sierralta is waiting for Watford. He'll get it back from Messina now. And then back to Messina again down this left-hand side, and then back to the Watford centre-back again. And this is now Troost. Spell of possession, although they still haven't got it into the Spurs half. And now it's Kaku who's been tries to chip one in towards Harry Kane, who wasn't quite on the same wavelength. It was a cheeky ball from Oliver Skipp to get it towards Harry Kane. But in the end, it goes out for a goal kick for Spurs. And Watford are about to make their final substitution. And it's going to be Tom Cleverley coming on as he goes into his 5th season for Watford's. And we're waiting to see who's coming off. It is going to be Moussa Sissoko, and he gets a big round of applause. Everyone on their feet, especially in that south stand for Spurs. As his debut wasn't a successful one, really. All he managed to do was to smash the ball into the face of the Spurs manager, Nuno Espirito Santo. But he gets a big round of appreciation from both Spurs and Watford fans on his return. And it's Cleverley who comes on to replace him. And Watford have now taken this goal kick, and it's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper Bachmann, who gives it away to Højbjerg with his chipped ball down the left-hand side. Højbjerg in towards Lucas Moura. Here's his first involvement as he advances into the penalty area. Gets a shot across goal, and it was saved by Bachmann. He certainly got a touch to it. Whether it was going wide or not, I'm not sure. But the Watford goalkeeper had to dive low down to his right-hand side just to get a touch to be sure. And in the end, it goes behind for a Spurs corner down the left-hand side. It's Lucas Moura doing what he does best, driving towards the penalty area, making things happen for Spurs. There was no one who was going to get on the end of that cross, which it did seem to be a cross. There was a touch from the goalkeeper who wasn't sure, and here comes the corner for Spurs. It's going to be an in-swinging ball from the left-hand side by Son, and the keeper's going to come out to punch it. It comes out towards Højbjerg on the edge of the box, trying to chip it back out towards Son down the left-hand side, who's being pressured by the substitute Hernandez. Son just about keeps it in play and plays it back to Reguilon. Now Davinson Sanchez on the edge of the box as he plays it back towards Dele Alli, who seemed to have been brought down by Kaku. He did. And Dele Alli, who didn't get his first touch right, was on the cusp of giving it away, but Kaku just came in a bit too eagerly there for Watford, and in the end brought down Dele Alli, and it certainly was a foul, and Spurs will have a free kick quite far out, centre of the pitch. It's a similar position to what Eric Dyer had from a free kick in the first half. Eric Dyer is not stepping up for this one, though. It's Højbjerg standing on it. I doubt he's going to shoot. It's quite far out. He's not known for shooting as a whole, but especially from free kicks, although he is stepping up like he's going to shoot from a long way out from this free kick. Here he goes. He does shoot. It's low and hard, and it almost finds the bottom corner as Bachmann, who was scrambling across his goal, got a touch to get it behind for a Spurs corner. But not what we expected from Højbjerg. It actually took a deflection off of Cleverley, which is why the goalkeeper had to scramble across the goal and almost found the back of the net. It's a good save, a good recovering save from Bachmann to deny Spurs from going 2 goals up with 13 minutes to go as Son once again goes out down by the corner flag to take the corner. And again, it's Sanchez standing by the goal line, putting the pressure on the goalkeeper. There's a wall of Kane, Dyer, Lucas and Sanchez making their runs from the edge of the penalty area. And it goes towards that near post again, and it's a header on from Dyer. And it also came off Messina, who got it away. And now it's Heung-min Son down the right-hand side for Spurs. Plays it back towards Højbjerg. And back out towards Tanganga, although it was actually intercepted that pass by Ismail Assar with a sliding challenge to get to it. And it goes out for a Spurs throw down this right-hand side. And the longer this stays 1-0, the more of a chance Watford have to get back into the game. At the moment, they're going to have to deal with some pressure from Spurs, or dealing with some pressure for Spurs, who are looking to kill it off at 2-0. Just over 15 minutes to go. As Tanganga takes the throw back towards Davinson Sanchez. Now it's Oliver Skipp for Spurs, in towards Lucas Moura in the middle of the pitch, who gives it away, in fact, to Hernandez, who looks to break for Watford. A challenge from Sanchez slows him down. And in the end, it actually came back off the Watford man and goes out for a Spurs throw down the right-hand side. So here is Davinson Sanchez. Out with Eric Dyer. Spurs have it inside their own half with Sanchez again as he plays it down the right-hand side towards Japhet Tanganga. And he plays it to the deep Harry Kane. And then back to Davinson Sanchez again, looking to switch it down that left-hand side. And he does do successfully to Heung-min Son, who's being pressured by Ngakia. Tries to play it in behind towards Reguilon, who won it back from Ngakia, who was there to intercept, but by doing so fouled him. And Watford will get a free kick. Reguilon actually played on, not hearing the referee's whistle, and put a ball into the box for Kane, who tapped it home for Spurs. But the whistle was long gone at that point, and it remains 1-0. And the Spurs fans sitting in that south stand were not happy when the referee blew his whistle. It's a free kick, nevertheless, for Watford. As Bachmann tries to kick it forward, looking for the head of Dennis, although he couldn't win it. It was Sanchez to win it. It's bouncing around, and Dennis does eventually win it for Watford. Højbjerg trying to put in a challenge, and he almost did successfully. It did come off him as there was an attempted pass from Cleverly down the left-hand side, deflected off of Højbjerg and out for a Watford throw down the left, which is Messina is going to take as he throws it back towards Siriota. And then all the way back to goalkeeper Bachmann again. So Bachmann, who's well outside his penalty area, the Watford goalkeeper, looking to launch one forward towards Dennis. Lloris has come far out his penalty area to kick that one away for a Watford throw down the right-hand side, just in front of the Watford fans. And it's Ngakia, the right back, who is slowly walking over there to take it for Watford, who are trying to save themselves from going into back-to-back defeats. And here's Sarr down the right-hand side, chips the ball into the back post for Hernandez. It goes just over him. Cleverly's going to get there at the back post, though. Down the left-hand side, Messina now for Watford. Cuts it back towards Otobo. And then out down the left-hand side to Messina again. Back to the centre-back now, Siriota. And this is his fellow centre-back, Troost Ekong. And now Ngakia looking for Ismaila Sarr, being pressured by Reguilon, gets it down the right-hand side, and now he'll get it back again, Ismaila Sarr. Ali with a challenge, and then was going out for a corner after Dele Alli got the styling challenge in, but in the end just prevents it by kicking it out for a throw to Watford down the right-hand side, right by the corner flag, which Ngakia is going to take again. He's going to throw it out this time towards Kaku, and then Kaku, who looked for a clever reverse ball in towards Ismaila Sarr, who I think was offside anyway, but it didn't reach him. And it goes out for a Spurs goal kick, which I'm sure Lloris will be happy to take his time with, as there are only 13 minutes of normal time left at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, plus, of course, stoppage time. As our cameras zoom in on Ryan Mason, who, of course, managed 5 Premier League games for Spurs at the back end of last season, plus the Carabao Cup final, which it was a 1-0 defeat to Manchester City. But, of course, they got revenge of the opening day of this season with a 1-0 win against Manchester City, and now they're looking for 3 1-0 wins in a row as they lead by a goal to 0 against Watford with 12.5 minutes to go. But Watford are moving it forward down the right-hand side with Kaku, and his pass was intercepted by Reguilon, who just couldn't keep it in play, and Watford will get a throw down the right-hand side with Ngakia. So he looks to throw it back to Otobo, but in the end ignores that option and throws it all the way back to Troost Ekong. And now Siriota. As the Spurs are happy to sit back and try and see this one out, and will look for a chance on a break when they get one. But at the moment, it's Watford attacking with Hernandez down this left-hand side. Højbjerg was there to steal it off of him, and he plays it into Lucas Moura. Back to Højbjerg again down the right-hand side, who skips away from the Hernandez challenge. And he's got Moura ahead of him, Dele Alli in field. He's still on it, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. And in the end, slows things down and plays it back to Japhet Tanganga. And now Dele Alli. This is Oliver Skipp. Dele Alli will pick it up again in the middle of the pitch for Tottenham, back down the right with Højbjerg again, and then back to Oliver Skipp right by the halfway line for Spurs. This is Eric Dyer now, and now Davinson Sanchez inside his own half, as it's Watford their turn to sit deep inside their own half, as Sanchez again is going to look for that switch down the left-hand side, and again it's successful as Son takes it down, although the flag is up against Heung-min Son, and Watford will get a free kick down the right-hand side. It's a brilliant pass from Davinson Sanchez, and the Spurs centre-back, known for it down the right-hand side. Kane Højbjerg as he looks to now dribble it forward, played in towards Lucas Moura down the right, and there's a ball in behind towards Son, down the right-hand side of the penalty area. Son looks to cut it back towards Kane. It came off Messina. Lucas Moura trying to pick up the pieces for Spurs inside the area. Eventually, it's Ngakia to head it away for Watford, and now Sarr trying to dribble it away, but a good challenge from Højbjerg, although in the end, he couldn't keep it, Højbjerg, and then there was a foul from Dele Alli as Sarr won it back for Watford, who take the free kick quickly, and they've got it with Hernandez down this left-hand side, who was stopped from going any further by Davinson Sanchez, and in the end it goes out for a throw down the left-hand side for Watford. And Dele Alli, who's on a yellow card, could have been in trouble there, because after Højbjerg couldn't keep it from the challenge, Dele Alli fouled Sarr as he looked to break away for Watford. I don't think the referee would have given him a second yellow if Watford didn't take it quickly. But they couldn't make anything of that free kick in the end. But they've got it down the left here with Hernandez looking to get a ball in the box. It comes off Lucas Moura, and it's a corner to Watford with 10 minutes to go as they're in search for an equaliser. And Spurs desperate for all 3 points. They can go top of the league if they win today. And they will remain the only side with a 100% record. In goes the corner, though, from Cleverley as Dyer heads it away. As Hernandez is going to try and pick up the pieces, but Dyer is down. In fact, it's Oliver Skipp who's down on the floor after winning the header, holding his head. And the referee has stopped the play. Andre Mariner, he seems okay, Oliver Skipp. He's as the referee gives a thumbs up to the medics by the touchline for Spurs. He's straight back up to his feet, Oliver Skipp. After a little barge from Kaku, it wasn't really on his head, but a little barge after Oliver Skipp rose highest for that corner to win the header. And I wonder if the referee actually gave a free kick to Spurs from that barge in the back. We'll see here. It will be Lloris to take the free kick. Yes, because it is a free kick. There we go. And so there's 8.5 minutes. Lloris kicks it long down the right-hand side of the pitch for Spurs. Lucas Moura wins the header. Can Son win the following one? He can't, but it comes back towards Lucas Moura, who tries to take it down. He's tussling with Tom Cleverley, who got a foot in, but only as far as Højbjerg, who looks to swing one forward. And then in the end, it was Siriulta there to pick up the pieces for Watford and head it back to his goalkeeper, Bachmann. As it's nervy times for Spurs, as Watford are slowly building the pressure, as they've got the ball again here with Troost Ekong, as he looks to switch it down the left-hand side towards Messina. He heads it forward towards Dennis, who couldn't quite get there. Sanchez came out from a centre-back position to intercept. Now it's Lucas Moura for Spurs, back to Sanchez. He's got Tanganga down the right. Instead, he plays it to Højbjerg, and now Tanganga trying to head it forward towards Lucas Moura. That was intercepted as it's cleared away by Watford, and Sanchez won the following header. Though the referee has spotted something here. I think after Sanchez won the header, there was a foul on him, which is why the play's been stopped. Although it seemed like his arm was pointing in the direction of a Watford free kick. Sanchez won the header cleanly. I didn't see much of a foul on Davinson Sanchez, but the referee has given a foul for Davinson Sanchez, and Spurs will have the ball back inside their own half, where Dyer plays it towards Lucas Moura, who just about managed to retrieve the pass. It was a risky one from Eric Dyer, and Spurs continue now with Japhet Tanganga down the right. Plays it towards Lucas Moura. Now Lucas Moura trying to dribble away from Messina, and he's doing so. He's running inside the penalty area. Lucas Moura gets it to the back post, and it's just past Harry Kane, who couldn't quite adjust his feet quick enough to tap it into the open net. And in the end, it goes just past him. The cross took a deflection, so it's going to be a corner for Spurs. But what a chance for Harry Kane to double the Spurs lead and get his first goal of the season in the Premier League on his first start of the season. But brilliant work from Lucas Moura to dribble away from Messina. A perfect ball towards that butt post. It was a low going to try and get that ball in, and it bounces towards Harry for Watford, still inside their own half. They've broken whether Oliver Skipp was pulling back Ismail Assar before he went in with the challenge. But we're going to take another look at this chance as the corner was taken short by Spurs. It came out to Reguilon, who chipped the ball in. Dyer headed it down inside the area. Kane hit it on the half volley, but it was fairly close to the Watford goalkeeper, who parried it away. But here comes this Watford free kick. It was quite far into this Spurs half. It's fairly central. Cleverley's going to take and he's going to put it into the penalty area. Kane heads it away. And then Kaku tries to clip it back into the box. Højbjerg takes it down, though, and then he skips away from Cleverley, who claimed that Højbjerg dived as he jumped to the ground, and the referee agrees with him. And in the end, it goes out of play for a Watford throw down this right-hand side. And it certainly was a dive from Pierre-Emile Højbjerg as he got away from Cleverley. He was looking for that free kick. But Watford continue now, and they've got it down the left with Messina, with just under 5 minutes to go at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium plus stoppage time. Messina looking to switch it down the right, and he does find Tom Cleverley. He's got Sarr further out wide. Still Tom Cleverley, now plays it towards Ismail Assar. Back to Tom Cleverley again, middle of the pitch now for Watford. Down the right again with Ismail Assar. Ngakia is overlapping. Sarr chooses to ignore him, eventually plays it to Ngakia, who's now cut inside. Back to Cleverley, who's going to swing one into the area, and it's headed away by Eric Dyer. Kane's going to give chase to Troost Ekong, who's now on it for Watford, and he's forced him all the way back to the goalkeeper Bachmann, and then back to Troost Ekong again from the Watford goalkeeper, who's going to look forward and perhaps launch it upfield. So he's taking his time, instead finds a forward pass to Ismail Assar, and now it's with Atobo inside his own half for Watford. Switches it out down the left-hand side towards Messina as they're slowly building this pressure, the Hornets. It was a 1-1 draw last time these two sides met at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Can Watford find a goal in these last few minutes to get it to a 1-1 draw? As a ball was played down the left-hand side towards Dennis, but he didn't reach it, and in the end fouled Davinson Sanchez, who did, and Spurs will get a free kick down the right-hand side, deep inside their own half. And Spurs are going to make another substitution, their second of the afternoon, and it's the goal scorer who's going to be coming off, Heung-min Son. He was also substituted off last weekend against Wolves. We take a look at his goal again. There was a beautiful cross into the box from the free kick down the left-hand side. Avoided every single player, Watford and Spurs player, in the penalty area. And in the end beat the Watford goalkeeper as it curled in towards that far post. And that is the difference between the two sides with 3 minutes to go. And Son comes off, and it's the new signing making his Premier League debut, Bryan Hill, who has been impressive in his two Europa Conference League games so far in his Spurs career, but now he takes it a step further and plays in the Premier League for Tottenham. He was signed in exchange for Eric Lamela over the summer with Sevilla. Lamela's actually gone on to score 3 goals in his opening 2 games for Sevilla. But Spurs have a throw now down the right-hand side with Japhet Tanganga just inside the Watford half, and that's just about where Spurs will want the ball with just over 2 minutes to go of normal time. Tanganga tries to throw it down the line to Lucas Mourath. The header was won by Silar Sintara, and he wins the following header against Harry Kane, who was in an offside position anyway, and Watford will get a free kick inside their own half. And there is now 2 minutes to go at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, as Kane is asking for his players to come up the pitch, as he doesn't want them sitting too far deep to give Watford an opportunity to attack. As, the opposing manager, Cisco Munoz, is encouraging his Watford players to get up the pitch, although they've got the possession inside their own half, with Messina now down the left-hand side looking to chip one in behind. Sanchez wins the header, but only towards Kaku, who takes it away from Højbjerg, who's trying to put the pressure on Kaku still. He's got it down this left-hand side. He's looking to switch it down the right, which he does do successfully towards Ngakia, who's being pressured by Bryan Hill. And Ngakia gets it past Bryan Hill. There's the cross towards the back post, and Hernandez tried the spectacular at the back post, but couldn't connect with the ball, and Lucas Moura picks it up. It was a bicycle kick attempt by the Watford winger, and in the end Tanganga clears, but only at the expense of a Watford throw down the left-hand side. And it's getting interesting here as we approach the last minute. In fact, we're into the last minute of normal time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, as Watford have it again with Kaku. And now it's with Atibo, who turns away from Harry Kane, plays it back down the left from Messina. Not much pressure on Messina, who's going to get across into the box. Lloris comes and drops it, but the referee thought he was impeded as he dropped it by Tom Cleverley, and Lloris gets the benefit of a doubt and gets a free kick for Spurs. It was a brilliant ball in from Messina, which Lloris jumped to try and claim, and maybe a slight barge on the back of the Tottenham captain. and goalkeeper by Tom Cleverley, which is why a free kick's been given against Watford's. And there's 20 seconds left of normal time here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs, just all they've got now is to hold on through stoppage time, and they will be top of the Premier League after match day 3. Watford are heading for back-to-back defeats, both of those on the road. Last week, 2-0 to Brighton. So far, 1-0 down to Watford. And we're 5 seconds away from the 19, seeing how chip it in the middle of the pitch to Dennis, who comes short to get there, heads it back towards his centre-backs, and in the end he's given it away, and it's Lucas Moura now for Spurs, who thought about dribbling forward, in the end was too slow with it, and he's had it stolen off him by Messina. And now with Tobo looking for a ball in behind towards Ismaila Sarr down the left-hand side. This is dangerous for Watford, as he's got it by the goal line down the left, and in the end, I don't know what he's done, to be honest. He seemed to try and let it go out for what he thought was a corner. He just let it run out of play, but it clearly came off the Watford man after that tussle with Sanchez. And the referee has given a goal kick in the end for Spurs. And I'm not sure what's happened there. In fact, the reason I think he actually left it go out of play, I think the flag went up from the linesman and it was an offside call against Ismaila Sarr. And as we look at the replay, he was actually very much onside. It's a free kick anyway to Spurs with 3 minutes left of stoppage time. Lloris kicks it down the field. Kane doesn't win the header. It was Siriota to win it for Watford, although only as far as Lucas Moura, who's dribbling down the right-hand side towards the goal line. Tries to take it around Messina, who got a foot in, and it's a throw for Spurs down the right-hand side by the corner flag, which is where they want the ball to be with just over 2 minutes left of stoppage time. Kane's coming short to try and retrieve the ball from this throw on Spurs. Three games as manager, and the first boss to do that since 1949. It was Arthur Rowe, that long ago. As Harry Kane, it was thrown to him eventually, and he's won Spurs a corner. And there's only one Spurs player in the penalty area, which is Lucas Moura, and he's actually dribbling out of the penalty area. Spurs play it short, and they're going to keep it in the corner here with Harry Kane, who goes down under the challenge of Messina. It wasn't a foul, and in the end, a following challenge by Hernandez, which could only come towards a Spurs corner again. And Højbjerg is going to take it again, and he's going to, I'm sure, roll it to Kane again inside the corner, or by the corner flag, as there's 1.5 minutes to go. Spurs are complaining that Hernandez is too close to Højbjerg as he looks to take the corner, as they're looking to get the clock, run the clock down. Here's Kane holding it by the corner, being pressured by Messina, plays it into Moura, back towards Højbjerg. It was a risky pass from Moura, who almost gave it away, but the clearance was then given away by Watford. And now Tanganga puts in the foot to stop Watford from breaking, and it goes out for a throw down the left-hand side with just over a minute to go at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, as it's thrown back towards Siriota, and then all the way back to the goalkeeper Bachmann, who I'm sure is going to kick this one long with now a minute to go. As we hit the 93rd minute, Sanchez wins the header from the goalkeeper, and Højbjerg smashes it away down the right-hand side, but it's going to be a throw inside the Spurs half from Watford to be taken by Messina, as he gets on with it quickly, throws it towards Dennis. Højbjerg in with a challenge for Spurs, chips it over the top now towards Lucas Moura. He's going to look to dribble away, and he was then fouled by Dennis, who gave the ball away initially for Watford, and Spurs will very much hard for Dennis, who hasn't made an impact so far this afternoon, the signing from Club Brugge from Belgium. He scored against Brighton, but it was given offside, his goal last weekend, so hasn't had too much of an opportunity this afternoon. With now 10 seconds to go, Spurs still waiting to take this free kick, and the referee telling them to get on with it, understandably. It's taken eventually by Højbjerg, chipped in behind towards Kane. Watford win the header, but there's not enough time for them to start a break, because Spurs, for the third game in a row in this new Premier League season, have won, and have won by 1-0. They go top of the Premier League table. They're the only team who have won all their first 3 games of the season. This time, just like on the opening day of the season, it's courtesy of Heung-min Son. His goal in the 42nd minute from the free kick. It wasn't intended to go straight into the back of the net as it curled towards the far post, but it did do so. He won't mind, Spurs won't mind, and for Watford, it's now 10 defeats in their last 11 visits to Spurs. And this part of North London, they have certainly struggled at in recent years. Their win at Aston Villa on the opening day is the only points they have picked up after defeat to Brighton. And now here at Spurs, they tried to pick up a fight in the last 10 minutes or so, pushing the ball forward. Couldn't really create a good enough chance. It's full time here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's Spurs 1, Watford 0. Thank you for listening. I've been Tyler Morris, and we'll see you next time on Flash Score.
The rest of this match will start momentarily. On Flash Score, you can also tune